Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys an old school album review, and I also hope everybody's having a great Labor Day today. Um, yeah, it's my day off, so I figured why not review one of my personal favorite bands, especially from my home state, and it's the album's 15-year anniversary this year. And as you can see below the title, today we're going to be looking into Leviathan by Mastodon. The band's second album was released on August 31st, 2004 through Relapse Records. Now, Mastodon doesn't need an introduction, really need an introduction. Heavy metal band, or progressive sludge metal, whatever you want to classify them as, hailing from Atlanta, Georgia. These guys have been around since 2000. Of course, this is the follow-up to their first album, Remission, which came out in 2002, which I thought was a pretty solid album. And this is like the era of Mastodon where they were sort of like really heavy, using like harsher vocals, but also still having like a lot of like progressive stuff. And I feel like there's sort of like, it's sort of like a continuation on this album, Leviathan, which has a little bit more. And this is also a concept album, which you could tell from the artwork. It's about the tale of Moby Dick, the whale right here, and some of these songs very much flow through. And one thing I should also say about Mastodon, they have great artwork. Like the gatefold, like damn, like they have really great artwork right here. Production wise, this Mastodon has really great production. Like they definitely, they don't mess around. The vocal work from Troy Sanders and Brent Hines are great. Just like their harsh vocals they do is great, and sort of like some of the cleans that they do is solid. The guitar work from Bill Kelleher and Brent are just great. They definitely know how to come up with some really great riffs. The bass is sort of somewhat audible. Well, I mean, Troy Sanders, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated bassists, in my opinion. And drumming wise, Bron Daler, can do no wrong. One of the best drummers. He could do some insane fills, and he pretty much does fills all over the place. Let's do a drinking game, take a shot every time he does a drum fill. But yeah, I'm getting off track. So without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, kicking things off is the cloud pleaser known as Blood and Thunder, which is a moderately immediately accessible track off Leviathan. It's a straightforward but with a feverish, catchy riff to get things started in the verse, complete with like sludge metal roaring and chorus. And the first or the interlude, I was like blown away by the technicality of like the guitar, and Bron Daler's drumming is just stellar, and the bridge is just heavy as hell, and it doesn't let up until like the final octave chord, which quickly drops off just as fast as the song begins. And then we go into I Am Ahab, which of course, like I said, this album is loosely based on excerpts from Moby Dick, hence like the title of the tune. I mean, when I first heard this song, I wasn't really like thrilled, but of course it like grown on me, but in some cases it might not, which is understandable. The opening really grabs you, and in some ways it's kind of similar to the last track, Blood and Thunder, but more into like a can't even speak today. A blazing fast progressive riff and some infuriating power chords during the verse, which might have been a real guitar neck buster during the writing of the song. It has very heavy rhythmic with some dynamic drums from Bron and Trent. Troy's voice is really I can't even speak today. Troy's voice is nearly incomprehensible. It sounds very muddy on this tune. It requires like the lyric book to be right in front of your face to know what's going on. And it's a really great tune that will grow on you, but it's not immediately accessible, but I still love the song nonetheless. Then we go into Sea Beast, which is a very melodic song, hauntingly beautiful, interesting arpeggiating from the guitar duo of Brent and Bill, and I can actually hear some of the bass coming through on this one. The lyrics paint a dark picture of the obsession of Ahad's mind and his violence and grief over getting his revenge, and the music really complements that with the technicality and the precision from all instruments and from there. And this is one of my favorite tracks on here, with a very harmonic melody in the chorus and a fantastic breakdown. A good tune. Anyway, Island, and this story hits the land for a moment, and it tells the tale of the adventure of the icy island with looming danger and a terrible beast that will be unleashed on the next track. This is like prog metal at its finest on this one, but it's one of the less accessible tracks on the album, with some pretty bland metal vocals that don't have much melody or feeling to them. But it's still a strong track though. I like it a lot. Iron Tusk, which is a mighty track off of Leviathan. Then the music takes shape of a terrible beast that is Iron Tusk, and the rampage that inflicts within it them as the crew sort of like escapes their island on a monstrous creature. And the music grows more tense. It represents to me like fierce fighting against the beast, and the ship begins to get away from the island, and blood and violence is occurring in a wave of chaos. And I feel like it's really represented well with this track. Like brooding overtones, a cool riff, and some heavy frickin' melodies in the bridge instrumental section. Megalodon, which is a monstrous song, truly monstrous, and that's a good thing. The song showcases the metal, prog, doom, psychedelia, experimental, and for a moment, sort of like almost like bluesgrass musical aspects of Mastodon. And it has a mess of like time signatures, and bronze drums set the tone for the song, and the guitars keep up in sync as the song goes all over the place in like progressive fashion. And the bluegrass guitar lick separates the two portions of the song from slower paced doom to crawl to like a flurry of just shredding thrash and growling vocals. And it's, in my opinion, it's one of the highlights on the album. Naked Burn, the fight of the fish begins, and has like the climactic ending of Leviathan begins with the first of the three-part trilogy of the battle against the white whale, and sort of like details like the vicious harpoon standoffs against the whale, a blood-red sky, and ever increasing unbridled hatred and madness from Ahab as he begins his battle of obsession. And the opening riff is a high-string open chord bombardment that rocks in progressive format that turns into some emotionally intense and violent melodic work from the chorus and pre-chorus section. Great track. And then it continues on with Aqua Dementia, and the music evolves into a harsh lead riff that details the battle as it comes into its closing moments, and the crew makes their return to the ship from the longboats after being crippled by the white whale in open water. And then, of course, Hearts Alive, which is just nothing of short but just epic. The guitars and drums build up, start things off with a slow, steady stringing of arpeggiated, I can't even, just arpeggiating like riffs, and just jazz fusion drumming that warps into like a mammoth rocker, just emotionally intense lyrics dealing the death of the crew and the sinking of the deep blue sea. But yeah, just the music paints us a very vivid picture. And then the album closes with Joseph Merrick, which is a great little acoustic track to end everything off. A somber instrumental that features some great acoustic work. A strong finish to close the album, no more, no less. Now overall, Leviathan by Mastodon, a classic album. Like this only came out 15 years ago, but it still holds up to this day. So if I have to give this album a score, I'm going to give this probably a solid 9 out of 10. Yep, it's definitely up there. So yeah, that's my review of Leviathan by Mastodon, guys. Thank you guys for watching the video. And also, tomorrow I'm going to a concert, so I'm going to see Slipknot, Volbeat, Gojira, and Behemoth at Amerisbank Amphitheater in Alpharetta. I'll be in the lawn, so if anybody sees me, just come say hi. I'll be wearing my battle vest. Spot me with the Evangelion Behemoth artwork. But yeah, thank you guys for watching my review of Leviathan by Mastodon. And as always, let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.